Let's talk news. G'day guys, welcome to the January 2021 Sydney.net user group coming here from the chapel here. It is a strange date to be saying 2021. First, I'll talk about Power Apps because we're doing more and more Power Apps. And one of the things that you want to be able to do is you want to be able to send notifications. So when you're doing these Power Apps, you have a browser and you have the mobile apps. And the mobile apps, people were just sending emails. So now you're able to turn it from sending emails to using mobile app notifications. So that's pretty good. How is that done? If you jump into Power Automate, you will see that there is a new connector there, and you can fire that thing up and it will open the right piece in the app. So the right piece in the app, you know, they kind of refer to it as a page here, but in Power Apps there's forms or views. You know, when you're looking at a single record, that's a form. And when you're looking at a grid of data, we don't call that a list, which we should probably. They call that a view. I find that a bit confusing when you think about views in SQL Server and stuff. And there's been a whole lot of renaming of this. Remember Callum Simpson did a talk a couple of months ago on Power Apps and all the ways to build an enterprise app doing that. And since then, they renamed the known thing CDS, Common Data Service. And they were actually going to call that DataFlex, but that got changed. And so it's now called Dataverse. So we don't call it CDS anymore, it's Dataverse. And then for some reason, they renamed Entity. So Entity is now a table. One of the controls in there, you know when you have a choice of a few options, that was called an option set, and now it's just called a choice. So lots of renaming going on there. But anyway, let's move across to SQL Server. Now, obviously, the world, you know, with coronavirus, it was an amazing time for companies to quickly do their digital transformations. They were talking about it for years, but all we needed was coronavirus, and companies did it really fast. I found this a bit fascinating when I had a look at this. I didn't realize that the big growth was in Postgres SQL, and Azure SQL is number 2. So look at the scale of the growth here. This is phenomenal. Between January 2020 and now, not SQL Server, Azure SQL Database went from 28% to 71%. Like, that is a monster growth. If you think about Microsoft with this product is charging usage, charging a monthly fee. What does that tell you? Buy shares in Microsoft, I guess. And then, you know, Mongo database is number 3. So, you know, there's lots of cool stuff there. Obviously, I expect in the future we will start seeing Cosmos because big apps are going into Cosmos and they're making lots of money. In fact, one of the guys in our company was working with a client, and they have a $2 million a year bill just for Cosmos. So that's pretty out there, isn't it? Anyway, what else do we have from the Microsoft world? Well, we have Microsoft Teams gets a new interface, so it looks a little different. It's much easier to switch. I've been doing this a little bit recently where you take a call on your phone and you quickly want to switch to your iPad or your desktop. It's much easier now to switch, so that's cool. And in addition, look at this. Microsoft is bringing CarPlay support to Microsoft Teams. So that is pretty good if you have an Apple system. And you know, all the Audi people will be happy. Lots of people that use Apple. Now, of course, those use Android Auto, that they're getting that soon. I'm a Tesla man, so I don't get this. I'm very unhappy, but never mind. My daughter crashed my Tesla, so it doesn't even matter. Now, let's move on to a little bit of hardware. Now, this is a leak, not confirmed. The Surface. We know what Surfaces look like. Most people say they look great. Here is an image. It's pretty little. It's a smaller image. And now all these Twitter links in here don't work anymore. But you'll see it's gone black. So let me just see if I can get a better image of that. Not easily. Oh, there we go. So you can see it's gone black. If that's true, that looks cool and different. I think what you might be even more interested in is that Microsoft are developing ARM chips now. So why do we need this? Like, why would Microsoft be doing ARM chips? Intel chips have been working very well. And the answer is that Apple have had such success, tremendous success with their M1 chips. And though, look at the results. In fact, even Windows on Parallels is faster on a M1 Mac than it is on a Surface Pro. That is out of control. So that is unbelievable, unbelievable. I'm very, very surprised by that. So what other news do we have? Well, I found this little bit of hardware news for you. Apple Watch is helping in the fight against COVID. So they're going to be able to help you, tell you if you have coronavirus. Now, part of the problem with getting COVID-19, or the biggest problem is, you are asymptomatic. You have it and you don't know about it. What they've discovered in a Stanford study is that your heart rate goes up for 9.5 days before you become symptomatic. So all we need to do is ask everyone to buy an Apple Watch. I actually have one. And if you've got an Apple Watch, then you will know. Anyway, that's the plan. So anyway, it's not confirmed, but it sounds bloody cool, if you ask me. Now, what other news do we have? Let's finish on a little bit of fun news. One of my favorite people in the world is Jack Ma from Alibaba. You've heard me talk about him a lot. He's becoming very powerful. Just like Australia, we like to chop tall poppies off. He is pretty much in charge of a big chunk of the money. I was in China for 3 months. You don't use a credit card. You only use Alipay or WeChat Pay. Nobody uses anything else. So for 3 months, I didn't use a credit card once. That's all I used. And this guy is in charge of it. We hadn't seen him for months and months and months. Anyway, he appeared. He appeared after everyone was freaking out, and he doesn't even seem to raise a sweat in this little video. But anyway, it's only 50 seconds. You can have a look at it. But he is alive. Now, talking about big famous people, this is phenomenal. I was a bit surprised by this. Elon Musk is now the richest man in the world. All right, that wasn't him when he became the richest man in the world. That was before that. This is what he was when he became the richest. He wrote a tweet, "Well, back to work." So that was cute. But you know what? That is a phenomenal. Like, he has beaten Bill Gates, got software all over the world. He has beaten Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos makes a clip of pretty much so many people's products. Elon Musk has one product, and he has a product that became popular without advertising by just his brand. Now, obviously, I'm a fan of the Teslas, but like, this is unbelievable. Now, I did a bit of Googling just to find out how is this really possible. And let me just have a look here. Look at this ramp up. This ramp up in production has been out of control. So you can see how quickly, how many cars he is making. So he's making a lot of cars. Now he's, obviously, I can't imagine this scaling forever because he's selling one product. Or, we know he has a few products and, has a few other companies as well. But just look at the deliveries of this just recently. Like, the deliveries per quarter is insane, absolutely insane. I'm just so impressed that can happen. Let me tell you that I think a big chunk of that is he invested heavily in robotics in the early days, and that was obviously killing him and giving him sleepless nights, and he was sleeping at the factory and all that stuff. But obviously, when it comes together, you can get that scale in that top image, and that is phenomenal. Plus, he was smart. He set up a factory in Shanghai. China has they have 50 electric car companies over there, and even though you can buy a decent electric car for $12,000, or you can pay $180,000 for a Tesla over there because they have a lot of duties. Now they're making it there. It should be cheaper, but that was the deal. People were still buying Tesla. Why? Because it's got a good brand. And I will finish on the last bit of news, which I found fascinating. Absolutely fascinating. We have Donald Trump who causes a riot in the capital of Washington, D.C. And so they ban his account. And then on top of that, we then get all these companies banning. Actually, Facebook went first, then Twitter, and then Google, Spotify, Snapchat, Instagram, Shopify, Reddit, Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, and Pinterest. Anyway, lots of these, so heaps of them. And then what happens? We get Parler, and Parler is a Twitter-like site. Then Google take them out of the store, and then Apple take them out of the store. Like, you can see this arms race going on. And then we have, they said just go to the website, use the website, forget the apps. And then AWS, Amazon, kill it from a hosting point of view. And then a company comes together, which is called Gab, and they say, well, I've been there for 4 years, and they have been putting his tweets up there. And this is not running on any Microsoft Azure servers or AWS or anything. They've got their own servers. And then, they've just been keeping his account. And then, there's a whole lot of techie guys talking, well, Cloudflare is the answer to take them out. So this will be a fascinating piece of history when people are studying what the tech industry was doing and how they were using, power of, rich people like Jack Ma, in China, and Elon Musk, and now you got, Mark Zuckerberg, and we got Jack from Twitter, and we got just all these personalities are making these big calls on their platforms, and it's fascinating. Like, it was. We'll never see another time like this. Unbelievable. But anyway, that's my news. If you have cooler news, ping me. You can ping me, you can email me, adamcogan@ssw.com.au, or even better, put it on Twitter @AdamCogan. And that would be awesome to share that.